the Democrats have taken a lot of beatings. They have lost their confidence. They've gone crazy. They've gone crazy. How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her? Is that real? Are they serious about it?
There is some not so thinly veiled racism coming from the President of the United States while he was speaking at the National Republican Congressional Committee dinner. And you know what? Not so thinly veiled racism fits in perfectly there. But yes, we are in fact quite serious about Jasmine Crockett, who is more articulate than you have ever been in your entire life, who has a law degree. And yes, we lost this last election, but we're not the ones going crazy, as Trump claimed. You are the one that is single-handedly crashing not only the domestic economy, but global markets. You are pushing our allies away. You are ruining our reputation and ruining the supply chains that we've built up for decades. And that's what this video is going to be about. Trump just gave a speech where he denied reality. He deflected the entire time. And you know, Jasmine Crockett drives them crazy, so let me show you this clip of them being straight up racist about Jasmine Crockett. Dude, I love how angry Jasmine Crockett makes conservative voters. That's me interviewing her on Capitol Hill. And one Trump voter immediately said, honestly, Jasmine Crockett sounds completely illiterate when she speaks. So I was like, yo, that's me interviewing Representative Crockett. Please don't use the word illiterate when you voted for a president that speaks like a lobotomized crackhead. And this post blew up. So everyone was like, are you serious, dude? This lady is the worst. A lot of people were saying she is a hood rat. You got to understand, Representative Crockett speaks in a way that reflects where she grew up, her experiences. She represents a community as a representative. Why are you getting mad that she doesn't speak like fucking Mike Pence? But also, watch this clip because it's really good. Let me play it.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up.
Very well said from Jasmine Crockett. Yes, we are serious about her, Donald Trump, but you know who we're not serious about? You. You have single-handedly ruined the entire economy, and let's dig into this. You know how during COVID, and even the election denialism that followed, Trump kept doubling down on his denial of reality. He adopted this from Roy Cohn, his mentor from New York in the 80s, who told him, never back down, never admit defeat, always deny and deflect. And Trump still does that. He denies, he deflects, and that's what's happening here. It's just like his election denial. He's beginning to say that other countries are cheating us in the tariff debacle that he created himself. So make sure you scroll down and make sure you subscribe so we can continue being the fastest growing Gen Z political channel on YouTube. We may beat Fox News in month-over-month growth on YouTube if you scroll down and subscribe. So let's watch this clip of Trump saying, I know what I'm doing. Nothing's more reassuring than our president repeatedly making up lies and saying, I know what I'm doing.
The baseline, we call it. Companies are pouring back into our country with plants. There's a run on sites. There's a run on old plants. Most of them are being ripped down for new plants. They've stopped building in Mexico, 4 or 5 plants, and they're all coming into the United States. I know what the hell I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And you know what I'm doing, too. That's why you vote for it.
We don't know what you're doing. That's why the stock market is crashing. And if all of these things Trump was saying was true, if they were true, the stock market would not be down like 15% over the past week. And what he's saying is not true for a few reasons. First of all, these plants oftentimes take 12 months at the minimum to build. It takes time to get the supplies here. The idea that there are multiple plants that have been built in the United States, when you're doing these on and off tariffs, how are these companies going to be importing materials to build these plants to get started when you're applying massive tariffs to every single country? None of it makes sense. But here's the great part. Trump is still doing this cute little thing where he claims that other countries pay the tariffs, even though we know that behind closed doors, he's begged automakers to not raise prices. He knows this happens. And he's speaking to Republican congressmen and women. So he's just lying to their faces. Who is he lying to here? Because it's not the American people. I mean, he is lying to the American people, but when he's speaking here, he's treating the Republican congressmen and women like little children.
Until they make a deal with us, that's what it's going to be. I think they'll make a deal at some point. China will. They want to make a deal. They really do. They want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get it started because they're proud people.
Oh, China's the one that's too proud to make a deal and back down.
China will now pay a big number to our Treasury. This is all taxes. And don't let them keep telling you that this is a tax on our people. I hate that. You know, they say it's a tax. No, Often, much of it is paid. And hey, look what happened during my first term. We had.
What happened during Trump's first term is that 92% of the money he got from companies in the US ended up going to bail out farmers in Iowa and across the Midwest. Again, 92% of the proceeds raised by tariffs, off the back of American companies, by the way, went back into farmers who had their businesses destroyed. So Trump does not know what he's doing. Also, China is not paying the taxes. I don't even want to explain this for the 100th time. You guys know that American businesses pay the tariffs, and then it's oftentimes passed off to American consumers in the form of higher prices. Here's Trump claiming that other countries are manipulating their currency to try to subvert his tariffs. He's basically saying, I'm actually winning, but other countries are cheating. He's out of touch with reality, and I'll explain after.
They steal our intellectual property. They rob our trade secrets. They manipulate their currency to levels that have never been seen before. Today it was announced that China is reducing its currency. Did you see that? Big. In other words, they're going to make up for it. They got every trick in the book. I'll tell you, they are great. You got to hand it to them. They're manipulating their currency today as an offset against the tariffs. Not supposed to do that. The game isn't supposed to be played that way.
By the way, Trump just retweeted a post on Truth Social like last week saying he intentionally crashed the stock market to make the dollar drop. Is that not intentionally manipulating your currency and tricking the game? What? I don't get it.
It's very hard for us, but in the end, it's not good because they have to buy oil. See, we don't need oil. We don't need oil and gas. We have more than any other country. They have to buy it.
We do need oil and gas. Absolutely. This dude is slurring a lot, too. Here is Maria Bartiromo on Fox News kind of detailing the economic destruction that Trump's caused. And just brace yourselves, because I was surprised to see this coming from Jesse Waters and Maria Bartiromo.
President Trump is doing it, but his time is limited, and the timing is of essence. Right now, you're talking about markets in a tailspin. People are nervous. They are down. People have lost money. We're talking about a $9 trillion in market value loss wiped out in about a week and a half from the peak. So markets going down is not good. Right now, what you're seeing...
Yeah, markets going down is not good. Thank you for this amazing coverage, Fox News. Markets going down, not good.
Is expectations that the first quarter will be weak. Companies are putting IPOs on hold. They're putting mergers and acquisitions on hold. President Trump, his ultimate goal is to get manufacturing back to the United States. And how else was he going to do it?
Is it to get manufacturing back to the United States? Because if it was, you would say that we need permanent tariffs, right? You would say that permanent tariffs are what we need so that countries have a reassurance that if they move here, they won't get absolutely nuked. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope I did a good job debunking Trump's tariff lies. I will continue in later videos tonight, but I hope you have a great rest of your day. Again, make sure to drop a like, comment some blue hearts, and say, hey, if you made it this far in the video, I love each and every single one of you. Let's continue to grow together and have a fruitful 2025, and peace out.